African countries have been keeping gold worth billions of dollars in foreign vaults for decades because they thought it was safe in Western hands. However, a huge financial impasse has now been caused by an unexpected turn of events. African leaders are calling on the United States to return their gold stockpiles after U.S. President Donald Trump slashed help to a number of African nations. Will the United States return it? That is the key question. Or is this just another instance of daylight robbery in Africa? This is about more than simply gold. It's about power, sovereignty, and escaping the economic shackles that have held Africa reliant for too long. African countries have been taught for years that storing their gold in American vaults was a security measure. Now, following Trump's sudden cuts to aid, leaders are realizing that their treasure is no longer in their control. Countries like Ghana, Nigeria, and South Africa are taking decisive action to recover what is legitimately theirs in response to growing concerns about economic instability. However, history demonstrates that recovering gold from the West is a difficult undertaking. It took 7 years for the United States to return some of the gold that Germany had requested in 2013. The same war is again being fought by African leaders, but this time they're united in defiance and prepare to take on a global system that has long taken advantage of their riches. What if the United States declines? Will this encourage Africa to form closer ties with countries like China and Russia as part of the BRICS? Could the global economy be rocked by a financial revolution that starts now? Stay tuned as we delve deeply into the true story of Africa's struggle to recover its gold and the reasons why the West might not be so eager to return it. Let's get started. This may come as a surprise, but it's a widespread practice worldwide, not just in Africa. In order to safeguard their treasure from economic crises, robbery, and political unrest, nations deliberately store their gold overseas. This is not just an African practice. A sizable amount of the gold reserves of some of the most powerful economies in the world, such as Germany, Italy, Switzerland, India, the Netherlands, Portugal, Austria, Poland, and Belgium, are also kept in foreign vaults. For instance, Germany keeps about $80 billion worth of gold, mostly in the United States, due to post-World War II concerns about Soviet attack. Similarly, due to historical security concerns, Italy maintains more than half of its $67 billion gold reserves outside, primarily in the United States. Many countries move their gold abroad throughout the conflict to keep it out of enemy hands. Because of insufficient secure facilities at home or the logistical dangers and expenses of transferring such priceless assets, governments have depended on outside storage facilities for decades to guarantee the security of their gold. With an astounding 8,113 tons of gold reserves, the highest in the world, the United States in particular has long been considered one of the safest locations to store gold. The fact that about 90% of this gold is actually owned by other nations, however, speaks something about the confidence that American vaults have been given. Governments have depended on outside storage facilities for decades to protect their gold, either because domestic facilities are insufficiently secure or because transporting such priceless assets entails risks and expenses. An example, the United States, which possesses the world's largest gold reserve of 8,113 tons, has long been considered one of the safest locations to store gold. But in reality, almost 90% of this gold is owned by other nations, which is evidence of the confidence that American vaults have gained.